The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball, featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Gilbert B. Miller Center. We are on the campus of Hedgesville High School, where tonight it is one of the top matchups, if not the top matchup around the Mountain State in AAA high school boys basketball, as the Hedgesville Eagles play host to the Martinsburg Bulldogs. For Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller. This is Matt Crawford behind the camera, John Alderton, and back at the studio, Eric Sterick, our producer and engineer. Matt, a big-time contest here tonight as these two teams come in with a combined record of 31 wins and just 6 losses.
Yeah, it's a marquee matchup across the Mountain State, so you know it's the biggest matchup in the Eastern Panhandle tonight, and this is it when you look at the terms of sectional and regional rankings. Those rankings come out next Tuesday. Both of these teams will play sectional and regional matchups on Tuesday. It'll be Spring Mills taking on Hedgesville. Martinsburg will be in Shenandoah Junction taking on Jefferson, but those games won't matter. Those seedings come out Tuesday, so this is the last opportunity to make an impact on what may happen in those seedings against a regional and sectional opponent.
Well, and both of these teams playing some good basketball. Martinsburg at 15-3, winners of 2 in a row, but 12 of their last 13. Hedgesville at 16-3. They've won 10 of their last 11 and ride a 5-game winning streak.
Is it deja vu all over again? The last time these two teams met down at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, Hedgesville was coming in riding a very similar 5-game win streak. And I know for Hedgesville and head coach Kelly Church, they want to have a different outcome than what was a 71-61 decision with Martinsburg edging them out by 10 at the Fieldhouse.
And that was a close game throughout as Martinsburg got the double-digit victory. That was a kind of high-scoring affair. I'll be anxious to see if Coach Church in Hedgesville here at home may like to slow that tempo just a little bit.
And, Matt, you talk about at home, not only are they trying to rebound from what was a 10-point loss, meaning Hedgesville, when they were at Martinsburg earlier in the season, let's take a trip in the time machine back a year. It was not a good showing for this Hedgesville team here this time last year. I believe only 5 points through the first quarter, maybe even a little bit more than that first quarter, but not a good offensive output. So they want to rebound from what was an ugly game offensively for them right here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center last year.
Yeah, absolutely. 53-26 was the final in that one as Martinsburg swept the regular season series a season ago, winning at home 43-36. In fact, the Dogs have won 11 consecutive games in this series. Well, the two teams have taken to the floor. Their warm-ups are underway, and we need to take our first timeout. When we come back, we'll take a little deeper look at what's going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, and we've got the final score on that JV game that just wrapped up. But right now, we need to remind you our pregame is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems. They provide custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Phone them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMSystems.com. We'll be back with more of the pregame after this. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
This falls over the front.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Top-tier basketball against some of the best teams in the state, and then have these three-game slides like this. I know a tough last week or so making two big trips to Buchanan Upshur, and then the very next night being at University, who from start to finish has been the #1 team in the state really since pulling that upset of Martinsburg in the state championship last year. But I'm just looking for them at some point to find consistency, and you would hope to find that at this point in the season if you were Coach Basile, because again the playoffs are right around the corner, and I'm not sure you want the coaches voting on those rankings coming into a three-game slide.
You look at that 11-9 record, though, and realize this is a very dangerous basketball team come postseason play. Hey, three-game losing streaks are wild tonight. Jefferson trying to snap a three-game slide of their own. They are 10-10 on the season as they play at Washington. Pardon me, that game is at Jefferson, so it is a home game, it looks like, for the Jefferson Cougars. And Jefferson will come in, as we mentioned, 10-10. Washington on a bit of a run, winners of 3 of their last 4, now at 8-12.
And again, Washington is a niche basketball team. And what I mean by that is if you're matching up against a certain kind of team that doesn't have overall size down low, and if Washington can play in the half court and is not facing a team that has a whole lot of trap defense or likes to play in that zone defense, I think the way that Washington is built, they can be a good basketball team, which you've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Let's turn our attention quickly to freshman boys basketball as Martinsburg has reeled off 2, 4, 6 wins in a row, improving to now 10-3 on the season. They had a win at Musselman. That was 2 nights ago, 45-40 in overtime. And hang on, I didn't even write it down, but Martinsburg got a win against Hedgesville in freshman basketball last night. Coach Chris Berg giving us the final in that one, and let's see. It was 46-27, Martinsburg getting that victory, so the freshman boys actually adding to that winning streak and now improving to 11-3.
Yeah, and rolling 6 straight wins now, so they're playing very, very well, and that bodes good news for the future of this Martinsburg basketball program.
Yeah, speaking of the program, how about this as a whole? Now, this does not include what happened in the JV game earlier, but Martinsburg freshman JV varsity boys are 36-10 on the year. Put it together over the last 12 seasons, 567 wins, 172 losses program-wide. All right, let's turn to girls basketball as the sectional pairings are out. They came out earlier this week, and in Region 2 and Section 1, Martinsburg is the top seed. They are 16-5. They will open sectional semifinal play next Tuesday at 7 p.m. They will host 7-15 Hedgesville. Also on the same night, it will be number 2 Musselman. They They are at 14-8. They've dropped 2 in a row, 3 out of their last 4. They will be entertaining Spring Mills, who's won their last 2 games to be 9-13.
Yeah, I think you look at Musselman, it's been a tale of 2 halves of the season for them. Started very, very strong, had an 8-game winning streak in the midst of the beginning of that season, just haven't been able to finish as strong as they would like. I still think they are going to be right behind Martinsburg in that favorite to be the 2 sectional representatives, but I think Jefferson being the number 1 seed in the other section of the region, Jefferson's going to be a tough team to beat, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Jefferson can do coming into this section. Jefferson's going to have a little bit of time off. They get that bye with only 3 teams in the other section.
Yeah, they won't play until that sectional championship over in Section 2. That'll be next Thursday. Next Tuesday, it's the 3-seed Washington at the 2-seed Hampshire. We've got Washington at 3-16. I do not have a record at this point in the season for the Hampshire Lady Trojans. All right, the JV game earlier went the way of Hedgesville. Martinsburg had a 4-point lead at the half, 17-13, but could only put 16 points on the board the entire second half as they fought at Hedgesville 47-33. The JV boys have now dropped 2 in a row and 4 of their last 6 as they fall to 10-5.
And when you, I'm going to compare this to a concert for a little bit because that was a very good opening act to get this gym going. A very strong second half as the Gilbert B. Miller Center starting to file in for the varsity contest. In the fourth quarter of that game, you could feel the energy in this building. You could feel the fans getting behind their JV Eagles, and I think it's going to bode well for this varsity matchup as, again, people still filing in, but should be a very, very good atmosphere, and that is a good win for the Hedgesville JV basketball program.
There you go, and we are getting ready for the varsity matchup. First, we need to take a break. On the other side, on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, we go courtside. We'll hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
Go courtside and hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. The Dogs coming off a 79-63 victory on Tuesday at Tuscarora, Maryland.
Well, I just thought they were very athletic. I thought they competed hard, and I thought we went on the road, and we made some mistakes, but we played hard, and we made shots when it counted, and I just those games are just nice to play. They're good people, they're great people. We're going to try to get together twice next year, and they're just they actually, I had seen them earlier in the year, they actually shot the ball better last night than I saw them the first time.
When you look at that one being the first of 3 straight now on the road, as you're here tonight at Hedgesville, you've got the makeup game at Jefferson next Tuesday. How good is it to get a sequence like that started on the right foot?
Hey, anytime you go on the road and win, it's a big win. And, it's just how the games fall. Sometimes you play 4 or 5 at home, some 4 or 5 on the road, but, they're ball games. And we're so close, it's like a home game anyway.
Tonight, you're here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center. This is going to be a playoff atmosphere. How much do you like a game like this at this particular stage in the season?
Well, I think it's good. I think it's good for both of us. And, I'm not being officially given the paperwork, but I understand it's got to be in by Tuesday, the vote, which means the Jefferson game's not going to have any bearing on it. So this game has a big bearing on who wins the league. It has a bearing on how you're seated in the section. If we can be lucky enough to win out, it'll have a bearing. And if we get through the local regionals and sectionals, it has a bearing on your state where you're seated in Charleston. So a lot of big ramifications tonight. Got to be ready to go.
So as you talk to your players about that, how do you make sure they're ready but not maybe too overhyped for a matchup like this?
Well, I really don't have to say a whole lot. Anytime you play Hedgesville, they understand. There's what we talked about is down keying it and keep quiet, don't jabber. Do the right thing.
Talk to us about that first matchup. You came away with a 71-61 victory, kind of a hard-fought game, and they really got up and down the floor as opposed to a lot of times you may think they're going to slow it down. What do you gain from that one? What do you expect tonight?
Well, and they've changed up some offenses since then. They put a couple of new wrinkles in that we picked up. But, that was a good game for us. That was a good win for us. If you remember right, but Telrinville didn't play a quarter. He was in foul trouble. Didn't get to play much. We're hoping he stay out of foul trouble tonight. Anthony Smith didn't play a whole lot. He was in foul trouble. So I had two starters that didn't really have a lot to do because they were in foul trouble. So we need those guys on the floor.
Especially when you consider you've been struggling a little bit with depth.
Yeah, it is. And, we got to stay out of foul trouble. We know they're going to take charges. We know they're going to set some illegal back screens. I mean, if you watch film on them, almost every back screen is illegal. You got to give a guy a step. So, again, you just got to go with what the game is. We've got good officials tonight, good veteran officials that'll control this game, and I think the big word is control the game because a game like this could get out of hand real quick.
Dave, good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. His thoughts heading into tonight's matchup here at the Gilbert Meade Miller Center as the Martinsburg Bulldogs take on the host, Hedgesville Eagles. Let's take another 1-minute timeout. On the other side of this break, we wrap up our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show as we turn to Matt Crawford with our keys to the game. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com. Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078.
We are back again here at Hedgesville High School, getting ready for this big matchup between the Martinsburg Bulldogs and the host Hedgesville Eagles. Time for keys to the game. They're brought to you by Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Call Luttrell LC at 304-267-3050. Matt, what are you looking for the visiting Martinsburg Bulldogs?
What I'm looking for Martinsburg is to basically, and I know this is going to be pretty obvious, but do what you did last time. Obviously win and try to get that 10-point victory again. I'm sure Coach Rogers would like even if it was a little bit more. But looking at individual numbers in that one, you look at Trey Sager in double digits, Dorn Smith in double digits, Garrett Stobbs at 9, so just out of double digits. Then 13 points for Anthony Smith, 22 for Teddy Marshall. And again, you heard in that interview with Coach Rogers, Telrinville didn't play for an entire quarter, so he finished with just 5, a season low for him. So scoring-wise, it came from a lot of different players. It wasn't centered around one or two guys, and that was, I think, in part to the fact that Villa was in foul trouble, so you had to rely on that bench a little bit more. But a lot of times in this season, we haven't seen that depth be able to score, and against Hedgesville, they were able to move the ball around very, very well, play up-tempo basketball, and get a lot of guys to contribute in that scoring column. So I look for them to be able to keep that up, and if they they do that, I think they got a pretty good shot of winning, because odds are Tellerville is not going to be kept to 5 again tonight.
Oh, you look at that depth for Martinsburg. Last time out against Hedgesville, 11 bench points. That's 2 below what Martinsburg is averaging at 13 bench points a game. But, Matt, in recent games, that has really gone down. 0, 0, 6, and 11 over their last 5 games.
Yeah, and flipping to Hedgesville, I think they need to do what Martinsburg did last game. You look at their scoring, it was led by just a couple of guys. Javen Wilmer finished with 21. Evan Hoseby finished with 23, 10 for Sheldon Everhart. But after that, 4 for Kobe Bowen, 3 for Jamison Matthew. That was it. 5 guys in the scoring column. And again, it was led by the 2 guys with 20 plus, Evan Hoseby 23 and Javen Wilmer with 21. So I think they need to find a little more depth in their offense tonight.
All right, what do you expect out of this matchup tonight? Let me give you 2 numbers, and then I'll ask the question. Martinsburg comes in averaging 73.3 points a game, giving up 58. Hedgesville comes in averaging 57.7 a game while giving up just barely under 40 a contest. Hedgesville ran with Martinsburg last time, 71-61. Do they do that tonight, or do you see them slowing it down?
I really see them slowing it down at home. They've got a great crowd out here tonight. It's a big night for them. We'll get into why it's a special night here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center in a minute, but I expect them to play Hedgesville basketball. Martinsburg, you know what Martinsburg basketball is. It's up-tempo, it's quick pace, and Hedgesville did a good job of that when they were at the field house. But at home, I would expect the Eagles to slow it down, to try to get 6, 7, 8 passes in before you get a shot up and watch those backdoor cuts. You, again, heard Coach Rogers talk about that in the pregame interview, but I expect them to really slow down the tempo here at home.
Yeah, you got to make Martinsburg work on that defensive end of the floor. Keys to the game brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC. Locally owned, they know the business, and they're part of the community. You'll win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by phoning 304-267-3050. Well, Hedgesville goes back to the tunnel just below us. Martinsburg goes to their bench. Much like the West Virginia Mountaineers, Hedgesville will shut the lights down, usually bring on some sort of a spotlight, I believe, and then they will roll out the carpet and bring on
the Eagles.
And they'll introduce the starting lineup that way. I believe we're going to get into those lineups first before our national anthem. So let's go ahead and jump into them. Starting lineups are brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Phone them at 304-267-4078. Let's start with Martinsburg, 15-3, winners of 2 in a row, 12 of the last 13, led by head coach Dave Rogers in his 41st season. His record, 780 wins, 223 losses, assisted by Bruce Fowler, Richard Moore, Chris Berg, and Daryl Smith. For the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Trey Sager moves back into the starting lineup tonight for Martinsburg. He is a 6'3 junior forward. Dorn Smith is a 6'3 junior forward. Telrin Villa, a 6'3 senior forward. And then the guards, Teddy Marshall, a 6'2 senior, and Anthony Smith, a 6'1 junior. Garrett Stobbs not in the starting lineup.
Tells you that Martinsburg is trying to go big. Trey Sager is still trying to work back in after being out with illness a few weeks back. We've seen him more and more off the bench as that number 6 guy off the bench, but you can tell that he's feeling well. And the biggest game of the season so far for Martinsburg, and Martinsburg going to try to use his size down low, because he and Dorn Smith and Anthony Smith are going to be those 3 that need to really lock down the painted area.
Well, and at the same time, Garrett Stobbs has been off his mark a little bit on the offensive end. Talking with Coach Rogers,
from the perimeter,
he's like, hey, I like the defensive effort. He's rebounding. He's doing those little things. Maybe coming off the bench, something that is going to help him out a lot. All right. The lights have gone out. Some strobe lights are on in the background, and we are just about ready for the Hedgesville lineup. The Eagles, 16-3. They've won 5 in a row, 10 of their last 11, led by 22nd-year head coach Kelly Church, a record of 377 wins, 125 losses, assisted by Chris Ruest, Kevin Pittsnagel, and Kyle Van Meter. Getting ready to come out onto the carpet and make their way to the center of the floor. Today's starting lineup. Starting at guard, a 6'1 senior, Ryan Fry. Also at guard will be a 6' senior, Evan Hoseby. A third guard will be 5'10", senior Javen Wilmer. A swingman is 6'3", senior Sheldon Everhart. And a forward is 6'1", senior Jamison Matthew. So that will be the starting lineup for these Hedgesville Eagles. And the lineups have been brought to you by D&N Auto Specialists, where honesty is their best policy, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. Give D&N a call at 304-267-4078. Martinsburg's won 11 in a row, 19 of 21 in this series. Hedgesville not beating Martinsburg since the 2014 season, when they took 2 out of 3 that year against the Bulldogs. Let's find out if they can get a win here, as we are just about ready for the opening tip. Well, as we pause here for the national anthem, we'll send it back to the studio, take a 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the opening tip and all the play-by-play of West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com. Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
Now the junior ROTC presenting the colors, making their way off the floor just below our broadcast position. The Hedgesville Eagles on the bench below our cameraman John Alderton. They're in the white uniforms with blue lettering and trim. The blue and white checkers down the side of the jersey tops and the pants. Meanwhile, Martinsburg at the bench to the far end of the gym. We'll call that to our right. They'll come out onto the floor, black uniforms with orange lettering and white trim. Not quite a capacity crowd, but a very good crowd on hand for this one.
Yeah, pretty darn close. Talking with Athletic Director Aaron Whitford before the game tonight. Had him on Miller time. This is the first time they've expanded to the second level here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center this year so far. Figured it warranted that. And looking at how many people are up in that second level, probably would have been awfully tight down low without it.
Matt, it's a tough environment. Hedgesville 10-0 at home this year after going 8-2 last year. Over the last 10 years, how about 114 wins, only 18 losses in this building? Well, the ball is in the air, and the tip goes out of bounds on the far sideline. And let's see who it's going to belong to. It's out off of Sheldon Everhart, Martinsburg Bulldog basketball. So Everhart getting to it before the Bulldogs tell Renvilla, and Martinsburg will get the first possession on the inbounds. Teddy Marshall at the top of the key, sending to Anthony Smith on this left wing. Tel Renvilla out top, gives it off to Teddy Marshall. Lob down low, and the alley-oop good for Tel Renvilla. Beautifully executed play.
Tel Renvilla going from the right wing and just working his way around the perimeter and coming back door, really pulling a Hedgesville move, coming with that backdoor cut. Nobody picked him up. You could tell he probably wanted to flush that, but just wasn't the best pass to do that, but still a good way to start for the Dogs.
Now the Dogs in that man-to-man defense. Evan Hosby with it on the right wing, giving to Jamison Matthew. Out top to Fry. He'll hand it off to Javen Wilmer. Double team coming to Wilmer, able to work around Trey Sager. Maintains that dribble. Around a screen set by Matthew to Everhart on the left wing. Dribbles to his right, stops at the top of the key, fires a three. It's a little wide to the right. That's Teddy Marshall with a rebound. Bulldog basketball with a 2-0 lead. Not a bad offensive set for Hedgesville. Got a decent look. Back the other way. Marshall off the dribble from the foul line. Shot didn't go. Tipped by Dorn Smith. It didn't go. Sager's put back off the mark, and this time Wilmer gets it.
Yeah, good opportunity for Trey Sager down low, but that was kept alive by Dorn Smith. Two guys in the painted area for the Dogs. And I think it was a case where Trey Sager was a little more open than he was expecting to be.
Two good opportunities, but the Dogs could not convert. Still a 2-0 lead. 6:43 to play in our opening quarter. Javen Wilmer starting to penetrate. Ball got knocked free by Trey Sager and a late whistle, and we'll have a foul on Sager, the 6'3 junior, with his first personal.
I'm guessing they're saying the foul occurred after that ball was poked away going for it. I didn't see a whole lot of contact.
Wilmer giving the inbounds to Fry on the right side of the floor. Left-hand dribble to the foul line now. Down the right side of the lane. Floats it up with that right hand too strong. Rebound Dorn Smith. Outlet to Anthony Smith and slows it down in the front court.
Yeah, and Fry hit the deck, but it was a good job defending by Teller. Villa just went straight up with the hands, so there was body contact, but not enough to warrant a foul. Good defense by number 12.
6:18 and counting, quarter number one, 2-0 Martinsburg. Marshall, three ball, right side, off the front of the rim. Wow, barely skimmed the front of that iron and right down into the hands of Jamison Matthew.
And you know what's going to happen at the beginning of just about every game? It's kind of a check to see how well Teddy's feeling from beyond the arc early. Not a very good sign early that he barely skimmed the front of the rim.
He's coming off a 24-point effort on Tuesday night in the win at Tuscarora. Last time these teams got together, Marshall had 22. Everhart with it on the right side of the floor, works down to the baseline, pulls up from about 10 feet away. It's off the mark. Rebound for Matthew. His shot wouldn't go. Backside rebound, Hosby. His shot too strong. Matthew with it. Again, the shot didn't go. Battle for the rebound, and a held ball will be called as Sager and Hosby both had their hands on it. Both of these teams doing a nice job on the offensive boards, but can't find the basket.
And Hedgesville, a good job on the offensive boards, getting second and third chance opportunities, but just taking acrobatic shots. Set your feet, even bring it back out if you have to, but just not quality shots.
Inbounds pass lobbed into the lane, stolen by the Bulldogs, but Teddy Marshall's down floor pass taken right back by the Eagles. Wilmer on the right wing, dribbles to his left, stops at the foul line, jumper is good. Javen Wilmer, who averages 11.1 points a game, has the first bucket for the Eagles. We're tied at 2.
And definitely playing slow-paced offensively so far. We're almost 3 minutes into this game. 4 total points, playing the way that Hedgesville wants to early.
Teddy Marshall out top, giving to Anthony Smith in the left corner. To Telrin Villa at the high post. 16-foot jumper. Wow, missed it badly to the right. Never got the rim, just the backboard. Jamison Matthew the rebound.
Yeah, may have skimmed the right side of the rim just a bit, but not a whole lot. Hard off the glass.
Under 5 minutes to play. Quarter number one, tied at 2. A little bit of a feeling out process maybe. Javen Wilmer dribbling to that right wing in front of the Bulldog bench. Gives out top to Hosby. Hosby had 23 the last time these teams met. Led the way for the Eagles in that one. Matthews got it around to Hosby on this right wing, guarded by Telrin Villa.
Martinsburg, very, very tight man-to-man defense to start this game.
Handoff goes to Sheldon Everhart. Everhart, a 4-year varsity player. Hard to believe it's already that senior season. Good no-look feed, low post left side, but Evan Hosby had a contested shot that never really got to the rim. Martinsburg back the other way. Still tied at 2, almost halfway through the opening quarter. Anthony Smith giving off, left of the lane to Telrin Villa, worked into the paint, off-balance shot, comes off the iron, rebound attempt for Sager, it wouldn't go, but the backside rebound tipped up and in, that's Dorn Smith.
Yeah, it's just an acrobatic play by Dorn Smith, never really had full possession of the basketball, just a quick one-handed tip. You're playing 21, Hedgesville's just knocked back to 0 right there.
How many times have we seen him do that this season?
A lot.
Yeah, a bunch. Great leaper. He'll get up there and tip it, keep it alive, do whatever he can to try to get that offensive board. Fry picking up the dribble deep on this right side of the floor, and a 5-second violation, no. It was very close, but head coach Kelly Church, seeing his guard in trouble, calls for the 30-second timeout. Matt, let's go ahead and keep it here at this juncture in the game. I don't know what it is this week, but we had a very special night down at Tuscarora on Tuesday after the death of a young student there from cancer. Tonight, a very special night at Hedgesville.
Yeah, Hedgesville recognizing Andrew Staley, the motto of the night, Staley Strong. He is a student here that is battling brain cancer that has spread into his spine, a junior here at Hedgesville. Everybody in green tonight, maybe a little different if you didn't know what was going on, seeing a lot of green in the crowd if you're watching on TV, but trying to raise proceeds for his medical expenses tonight. If you are at the game or if you plan on coming or know somebody here, you can donate right here at the front table or out near the concession stands. If you can't make it, you can write a check to Gretchen Staley and deliver it to the school office anytime throughout the next couple of weeks to help, again, offset some of those medical costs, and wishing the best to Andrew Staley.
We understand green, his favorite color. And, hey, look, this is a rivalry, right? How about the Martinsburg student section in there, green as well? Basketball, you can be rivals. In the game of life, we're all together. Thoughts and prayers to his family. Hedgesville basketball after the inbounds, and Javen Wilmer on that far side was trapped and traveled with the ball. I've got a pair of Hedgesville turnovers, Matt. They only average 11 a game. They're very good with the ball.
Yeah, they are, but offensively, they can't get by Martinsburg's man-to-man yet. Martinsburg, again, very, very tight man-to-man, and an athletic team in the Bulldogs, so we'll see how long they can stick with that very, very tight man-to-man.
Trey Sager working down low to Telrin Villa. Right of the basket, he turns, puts it up and in. Villa's got 4 and a chance for 5 as he was fouled in the act of shooting. That personal foul, let's see who it's going against. It will be number 1, Ryan Fry, the 6'1 senior Hedgesville guard. Free throw up, free throw good. Villa's a 71% foul shooter. We got him 70 of 98 coming in.
And very similar to the first basket he made, Villa just a backdoor cut, and Hedgesville's defense late getting over. It allowed a good look as Fry late getting over, just trying to get a piece of it, ended up getting a piece of the body.
Sheldon Everhart trying to work his way into the lane, wanted to pass to Hoseby on the right wing, but lost control of the ball, and that led to a travel. 3 Eagle turnovers.
Yeah, that pivot foot just slid as he was going for that pass. Momentum taking him to this near side, and just couldn't keep that pivot foot planted once he realized he wasn't going to pass the basketball.
Martinsburg on a 5-0 run after we were tied at 2. 7-2 Martinsburg. Anthony Smith driving angle left side, gets to the rim and banks it off the glass. Good drive by Anthony Smith. 9-2 Martinsburg on now a 7-0 run. 2:37 and counting here in quarter number 1, and a traveling violation on Evan Hoseby, dribbling from left to right through the lane, came to a stop, turned, wanted to pass, but again drags the foot.
Yeah, pinned the ball to his hip as he was turning around, took 3 in process of almost a 4th step.
Matt, Hedgesville having done to them what they did to Jefferson in a 78-44 win on Tuesday night, although a little bit better. They held Jefferson to no points in that opening quarter. Right now it's 9-2, the Martinsburg lead. Ball knocked away from Telrin Villa, loose beyond the arc on the near side, picked up by Wilmer, gets it off to Everhart into the front court. He'll slow it down as Dorn Smith cuts him off. Gives it to Wilmer, deep 3, left side, got it, wow. Javen Wilmer was way out there on that left side of the floor, but knocks down his 36th 3 of the year.
Wilmer 21 points the last time these two teams met, has the first 5 for Hedgesville, and they needed that basket pretty darn bad.
Absolutely. Under 2 minutes to play, quarter number 1. Anthony Smith on that right wing. Dribbling here to his left, gives off down low to Trey Sager, never came down with it, turned his body in the air and puts it in.
Great body control by Sager, a good dish by Anthony Smith as well. Sager, you mentioned it kind of spun in the air, and good ball control to go off the glass.
1:30 and counting in our opening quarter. Sheldon Everhart driving into the lane, bangs into Trey Sager, who was too late in getting over. 2 free throws are coming for Everhart, and for Martinsburg, early foul trouble again. Remember, the first time these teams met, it was Telrin Villa getting in foul trouble. Tonight, Trey Sager now has his second, and Garrett Stobbs is at the scorer's table. Everhart will be by himself as Coach Church calls the other 4 down to the near side of the gym for some instruction as Sheldon Everhart puts the free throw through. He's an 80% foul shooter. Martinsburg does not want to foul him. 45 of 56 coming in. Second free throw coming. Everhart ready, puts it up, and he got it. Timeout as we'll get a substitution. Naheem Romans checking in for Ryan Fry in the Hedgesville lineup. And as we mentioned, Stobbs will come in to spell Sager, who sits down for Martinsburg with 2 fouls. 11-7, the Bulldog advantage. 1:24 and counting, quarter number 1. Teddy Marshall on the right wing, giving some instruction. Now backs it out. Hosby guards him. Pass at the high post to Dorn Smith. Back to the basket, has to give it right back to Teddy Marshall. Straightaway 3 on the way. Ooh, missed it bad, wide to the right. Did you hear that one clunk? I did.
Yeah, first 3 he took missed very short. That second one putting a little more mustard on and a little too much.
Romans with that rebound, and Hedgesville into the offensive end. Hosby on that right wing, around the screen set by Matthew. Giving to Wilmer, around to Everhart, deep 3 left side. It's off the iron, no good. Great box out by Telrin Villa to grab the Bulldog rebound.
Yeah, that was a deep 3 by Everhart. That would have been a very, very good shot if he made it.
Anthony Smith driving down the right side of the lane, runs over the top of Jamison Matthew. It's an offensive foul on Anthony Smith. His first, team's third. That's the second Bulldog turnover as Hedgesville will inbound, length of the floor to go. Getting a lot of what we expected in this one. 2 very good teams playing tough defense. Points have been a little hard to come by so far in this one. 11-7 Martinsburg. And let's see if Hedgesville tries to hold for the final shot as we're down to 35 seconds and counting.
Everhart slowly into the front court. You would imagine that you probably won't see a shot until inside 10 seconds left in the first quarter as he pulls it back out almost to the jump circle.
Jamison Matthew coming out to set that screen. Now Coach Church redirecting the offense from the near end of the gym. Everhart's going to control that dribble, and Dorn Smith's going to stay back and let him do it. Down to 10 seconds, and now they get the offense going. Coach Church giving instructions. Down to 5 seconds, down to 4. Everhart down the right side of the lane against Telrin Villa. Banks it up, off the rim, no good. Telrin Villa the rebound and will not get the shot away. There you go, quarter number 1 in the books. We're back after a 60-second timeout with your score. Martinsburg 11, Hedgesville 7.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday. I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Our studio engineer is Eric Sterick, running our TV 10 camera on site. It's John Alderton. 11-7, the Martinsburg advantage. 5 points in the opening quarter for the Dogs, Telrin Villa, and 5 as well for the Eagles. Javen Wilmer leading their respective teams. It is Bulldog basketball as we get quarter number 2 underway. The Dogs shooting at the basket to our left, or really directly in front of us as we're on the baseline. Anthony Smith into the lane, gives to Dorn Smith in the left corner, works his way towards the paint, spins back and has to give it out to Teddy Marshall. Marshall on the left wing, around the screen set by Dorn Smith. To Telrin Villa, just right of the key. He'll pull the trigger on a 3. It's off the mark. Dorn Smith, the rebound, tried to put it up without coming back down and left the shot short.
Good move by Dorn Smith, though. Drives me nuts when players will bring it down to their chest. Wasn't able to capitalize, but I think a good move down low.
Hosby firing a deep 3 from the left wing. It's off the mark, and the rebound to Garrett Stobbs. Anthony Smith quickly into the front court to Telrin Villa. Works his way into the lane, floats it up, rattles it around, doesn't go. Battles for the rebound, out of bounds off Telrin Villa. Hedgesville maintains possession. I got a really good look, but it rolled off the iron, and he tried to keep it alive but lost it out of bounds.
And can you tell that Telrin Villa trying to make up for some lost time in the first matchup between these two teams? Just 5 points in that matchup at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, his lowest point output so far this season. A minute gone by, quarter number 2. Javen Wilmer sending to Everhart on that far wing to Hosby. Splits through a double team, and a traveling violation on Evan Hosby.
I believe that's traveling violation number 4 on Hedgesville. If not, it's 3 for sure.
Well,
maybe
I've got 5
4.
turnovers total.
Yeah.
So. And for Hosby, no points in the opening quarter. Matt, we mentioned earlier, 23 the last time the teams met. He's coming off a season-high 30 in the win against Jefferson on Tuesday and averages 15.2 a game. Hedgesville's got to try to find a way to get him going. Telrinville on that right wing, dribbling to his left, gets into the paint, stops and pops. It's off the rim, no good. Dorn Smith the rebound. His putback.
Man, Dorn Smith all over the offensive boards right now. Really just out-efforting everybody. The leaping ability out of the gym right now in the paint for number 11 as he steals this one.
Yeah, he gets that steal near the midcourt stripe. He drives in, but a little out of control, going too fast, misses the shot, and back the other way, it's Everhart.
And Hedgesville had a 5-on-4 opportunity, and they take advantage.
Everhart spins his way to the basket down the middle of the lane, and his little finger roll is good. He's got 4 points. Back the other way, spinning his way to the rim is Teddy Marshall, but his shot comes off the iron. Jamison Matthew clears the rebound. 13-9. Martinsburg with the lead. Hedgesville with the ball.
And Teddy just having a tough time getting that first basket, not from lack of effort, just struggling to find the bottom of the net.
Ryan Fry cutting along the right baseline, taking a pass from Everhart. Almost lost it, but regains control. Gets it out to Everhart. He'll fire a 3 from straight away. Off the mark, and the rebound controlled by Stobbs. Hedgesville settled for a lot of 3s so far in this first half. They've knocked down only 1 so far. 13-9 Martinsburg. Teddy Marshall on that right wing, guarded by Hosby, faking baseline, goes the other way, and then has his shot blocked as he got to the side of the lane. Hosby blocked it, and down the floor, Hosby takes the feed from Wilmer, but misses the leg in. Rebound to the Dogs, and now Garrett Stobbs driving in on the left angle, floats it up with a left hand and banks it off the glass.
Talked about him in the pregame. Stobbs has been struggling from beyond the arc in the last really month of February is when it really started, that slump from beyond the arc, but he has countered that by working on that inside game, which you see right there.
Look at the last 4 games for Staub, 2, 4, 7, and 2 points. He's got his first 2 in this one. Wilmer with a deep 3 from the left side, off the mark. Fry the rebound, and now a pass along the near side, tipped out of bounds by Martinsburg. So Hedgesville will inbound in front of the Bulldog bench, down to our right. 15-9, that Martinsburg advantage, 4:46 and counting, and a double team on Hosby deep in the front court. It's stolen by the Bulldogs, and down the floor, Teddy Marshall lobbing one towards Telrinville, has it come off the rim. He got it back, gives to Dorn Smith at the foul line, works into the paint, and the shot is up and good. 6 for Dorn Smith.
Yeah, the 6'3 junior doing very well in the paint so far in this game.
Matt, first time these teams met, I only had 8 turnovers for Hedgesville. I've got him at 7 already in this one. Wilmer again with a 3 from that left side, off the mark. Long rebound out to Anthony Smith. Quick pass down the floor to Dorn Smith, and an offensive foul as Smith collided with Jamison Matthew right at the basket, and Dorn Smith has his first foul. Bulldog turnover number 4. That's the second time that Hedgesville's been able to draw a charge.
And it's the second time that Jamison Matthew has been able to draw a charge.
Halfway through quarter number 2. Very low-scoring game to this point. Everhart out top. Trying to get by Dorn Smith, couldn't do it. Gave to Matthew and now to Wilmer on this right wing. Wilmer controlling that dribble to Matthew at the top of the key. Around to Sheldon Everhart, driving baseline left side, looking for the reverse leg up. Let's see, we're going to have a whistle and a foul. A wave off the basket. They're going to call the foul on the floor before that reverse leg up was put up and in. The foul is on Telrinville. That is his first. 5 Bulldog team fouls, just 1 so far for Hedgesville. Wilmer triggering the inbounds, baseline left side, gets it into Fry, cutting down the left of the paint. He drew the defender, gave it off, and Jamison Matthew gets the leg up.
Good job by Fry. You mentioned it, drawing in that defender. Was airborne, so it looked like he was going to go up for the shot. Then just a quick give off underneath. Jamison Matthew finishing at the rim, which has been easier said than done tonight, actually finishing those shots right next to the rim on both sides.
Telrinville moving from left to right into the lane, had a little contact and lost his balance. He threw it up while falling down, and thankfully Ryan Fry, who had also lost his balance, ended up grabbing the ball as he was falling out of bounds. So it's Bulldog basketball, and head coach Dave Rogers is trying to get a timeout. He finally gets that break. Let's take it as well. 3:24 remaining in our first half. A 30-second break with Martinsburg in front, 17-11.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Shout out to Brian Horner sharing that score with us as we exchange scores from here to there. Inbounds pass for the Bulldogs, and Stobbs has to lob it out deep from the baseline near the midcourt stripe to Anthony Smith. Smith penetrating into the lane, floats it up, rolls around the rim and out, and we've got a technical foul that has just been called, and it may be going on head coach Kelly Church of the Hedgesville Eagles. So it was a rebound for Jamison Matthew, and as he grabbed the ball, our outside official immediately turned and called a technical foul. That's going to send Teddy Marshall to the charity stripe looking for his first points of the night. A 79% foul shooter, 70 of 88 coming in. All by himself at the line directly below us. He puts the free throw up and puts it through. Martinsburg 2 for 2 from the line in this first half. Hedgesville likewise 2 for 2 from the line in the first half. Coach Church now removes the jacket as he will have to have a seat on the bench. Teddy Marshall puts the second free throw up and through. That will make it a 19-11 Martinsburg lead, and the Bulldogs get the basketball.
And with that technical, again, you mentioned have a seat. He's got to have a seat for the rest of the game other than timeouts.
Stops with the inbounds to Anthony Smith in the backcourt. Martinsburg's had the lead at 8 before. Chance to stretch it to double digits for the first time tonight. Out top, it is Teddy Marshall. Gave a little ball fake on a pass. Fires the shot from about 17 feet away. It's off the mark. Long rebound, Evan Hosby. Hosby down the floor. Little Euro step. Shot rejected up against the glass by Teddy Marshall. But the rebound controlled by Javen Wilmer. Hedgesville sets up. They'll swing it around into the left corner. Hosby's three off the back of the rim, and they are having a cold shooting night. Anthony Smith into the front court for Martinsburg. Smith down the right side of the lane to Teddy Marshall. Little ball fake in the corner. Gives it off to Telrin Villa. His right side three on the way. Hits off the rim in the backboard. Rebound loose on the floor, and eventually Matthew picks it up. Neither team shooting extremely hot. Sheldon Everhart going the other way. Drives it to the basket and lays it up and in. That's a good push for the 6'3 senior.
Yeah, that's a fantastic take by Everhart going down at that right side and just slowing it up when he got to the rim. We've seen a couple of drives on both sides where it's been an open take. They've just gone too strong to the rim. Everhart able to slow it up and be fluid going to the rim.
Garrett Stobbs from the right corner. His three is up and good, and maybe he is getting that shooting touch back. His 22nd three on the season. He's got 5 off the bench in this quarter.
Martinsburg up by 9, 22-13. 1 or 2 to play in the first half here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center.
Hosby in front of the Bulldog bench on the right side. Puts it on the floor with a left-hand dribble out onto the wing. Gives it off intended for Jamison Matthew. Low post right side, but knocked away by Telrin Villa, who was able to reach around and get a hand on the ball. Inbounds will come from Javen Wilmer. Wilmer looking, gets to Everhart. Again on that right sideline. Dribbles to his left, turns, gives it right back out on that sideline, and Wilmer's three rolls around the rim and out.
It's just that kind of a night right now for Hedgesville from beyond the arc. That thing did everything but drop and then rolled right back out. It was a good opportunity for Wilmer. Again, he's got 7 in this one, 21 in the first meeting between these two teams.
Matt Garrett Stobbs with another rebound, doing the job since coming off the bench. Maybe this 6th man roll, a good one for him. Anthony Smith on the left side of the floor barely maintains control of the dribble. Javen Wilmer clapping his hands after some very good defense. Stobbs with it now on that right wing. Out top to Smith. Davila here on the left side of the floor. Puts it on the floor, driving towards the basket, and they're going to get an offensive foul on Telrin Villa, saying he used the off arm to push away Ryan Fry to get that shot up. That is the third offensive charge call / turnover on Martinsburg. 22-13 is the Bulldog advantage. We're under a minute to play here in quarter number 2. Low-scoring first half. Jamison Matthew with it out top. Giving it off to Wilmer, guarded by Anthony Smith and the Bulldog man-to-man. Hosby yet to score in this first half. Had it momentarily, now to Matthew on that left side beyond the arc. Matthew puts it on the floor with several dribbles. Tries to give it off to Wilmer, but stolen by Garrett Stobbs. There he is again. Stobbs into the front court, has his pocket pick from behind. Great defense, Sheldon Everhart. Snuck in from behind and poked it away, and now Everhart going the other way, and let's see what we've got. We're going to have an offensive foul on Sheldon Everhart as he used the off arm to get rid of Teddy Marshall. That will be another turnover for Hedgesville as well. 22-13, Martinsburg with the lead, and hang on, we have a timeout taken by our outside official. Kelly Church asking a question about that brief timeout, and now here we go as the inbounds comes to Anthony Smith.
And it looks like the Dogs are going to hold for the last shot under 18 seconds now, as Anthony Smith has got to get across that timeline, and he does. I think that was about 9 seconds it took him.
Anthony Smith giving it off to Teddy Marshall in that right corner, gave a ball fake on the 3, puts it on the floor, drives towards the lane, feeds underneath to Dorn Smith, but the shot short off the iron. Rebound Jamison Matthew, up the floor to Wilmer. Wilmer, top of the key, trying to fire a 3. It rolls around and pops out, but the official says no, it would not have counted anyway. And we are at the half in a low-scoring matchup with Martinsburg out in front of Hedgesville, 22-13. A 60-second break, and we'll return to the Gilbert B. Miller Center, getting our halftime activities underway. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNRN TV 10.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
We welcome you back into the Gilbert B. Miller Center. The dance team from here at Hedgesville entertaining the crowd on hand. An entertaining first half with Martinsburg in front of Hedgesville 22-13. Don't let the low scoring fool you. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our TV 10 camera. Eric Sterick, our producer engineer, back at the studio. Matt, as we break down the first half, we were tied at 2 before Martinsburg went on a 7-0 run. Opened up a 9-2 lead and led 11-7 after 1. That 4-point cushion ballooned to a 9-point halftime lead as the Bulldogs outscored Hedgesville 11-6 over that second 8 minutes.
Yeah, and you look at the first half in this one, I don't think either coach is going to be overly thrilled with how their team played in the first half. And you look at 13 points for Hedgesville, and you would say, well, at least Kelly Church won't. Dave Rogers furious at the end of that second quarter. 22 points is a very low first half output for this Martinsburg team. And both teams struggling from beyond the arc to start this game, and it hasn't been for a lack of trying on either side. Both teams have tried their fair share from beyond the arc and just no dice. Martinsburg a little better from beyond the arc. You look at 1 for 1, but I think Hedgesville's put up definitely more shots from beyond the arc, and something's got to give in this second half, and we expected it to be a lower scoring game than at the field house, but I don't think anybody was expecting a 22-13 halftime score.
Well, it is playing out much like when these teams met here a season ago. Martinsburg got a 53-26 victory in that one. Right now on pace for just about that same type of point output, depending on how this second half goes. How low is the point output for Martinsburg? Their average score at the half has been 35-28. We're nowhere near that.
Yeah, 13 points below their offensive output on average going into the half, and both coaches, I think, are going to scrap the game plan. I think the way this first half has gone, defensively for Hedgesville, you got to be happy, but I would imagine that both teams offensively are going to come out with a different look in this second half, because offensively, not a whole lot working for either side. Although, hats off to Doran Smith. He has been phenomenal in the paint, getting second chance opportunities, and very good around the basket.
Well, and how about Garrett Stobbs coming in off the bench in that second quarter? Didn't get the start in this one, but since coming in off the bench, certainly has played very well. All right, we're at the intermission. Martinsburg in front of Hedgesville, 22-13. Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio for a 60-second break. When we come back on the halftime show, we'll see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle. Halftime brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Auto, home, life, business, disability, retirement. Smallwood Small is your total insurance solution. Phone them at 304-263-3361. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Back at the Gilbert B. Miller Center, where earlier in the JV game, Hedgesville got the win over Martinsburg. Hey, they rallied from a 17-13 halftime deficit, holding Martinsburg to just 16 second half points. Hedgesville got the win 47-33 for the JV boys of Martinsburg. They've dropped 2 in a row in 4 of their last 6, now 10-5 on the season. Going on also in boys play tonight, Musselman is at Spring Mills, and that's a 22-22 game at the half. So a low-scoring game out there as well. Something in the air tonight.
And we talked about it in the pregame. It's hard to figure out this Musselman team. I gave them an advantage in this game. Yeah. I really did. And it's halftime. Game's not over. But I really gave Musselman the edge in that matchup. And if Spring Mills is able to get that win, I think that could say a lot for the regional rankings coming out.
Certainly could, so we'll keep an eye on that one through the second half. Again, thanks to Brian Horner. Haven't gotten a score at all from Jefferson and Washington, as those two teams are meeting tonight in Jefferson County. Our halftime score, 22-13. Martinsburg with the lead over Hedgesville. We need to take one more timeout, and after this 60-second break, we'll come back and run the numbers from our first half and then get into our second half of action. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
Time for us to take a look at the first half stats. They are brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more at Folk4WV.com. The former Hedgesville Eagle himself, paid for by Michael Folk for Governor.
Let's take a look at the individual numbers. Matt, what do you say?
You got it.
For Martinsburg, leading the way, Dorn Smith with 6, 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 5 apiece for Teller and Villa. That all coming in the first quarter. 5 for Garrett Stobbs as well. All that coming in quarter number 2. And then a basket each for Trey Sager, Teddy Marshall, and Anthony Smith. Let me take that back, a basket for each. Teddy Smith, 2 technical.
Teddy Marshall,
sorry. Too many Smiths. Teddy Marshall, 2 free throws, and that was only technical coming on the Hedgesville bench. For Hedgesville, 3 players in the scoring column. 7 for Javen Wilmer, 4 for Sheldon Everhart, and 2 for Jameson Matthew.
Team totals, each team has hit just 1 3-pointer in the first half. Martinsburg hasn't taken a ton of them, but they have not shot well from beyond the arc. Hedgesville has struggled even more from beyond that 3-point line. Each team's 100% from the foul line. Martinsburg 3 for 3, Hedgesville 2 for 2, so only 5 total foul shots in the first half. Hedgesville only committed 2 personal fouls. Martinsburg had committed 6 fouls in that first half. I do have the Bulldogs +1 in rebounding at 17-16 and +3 in turnovers as they commit 6 while forcing 9 out of the Hedgesville Eagles. Scoring in the opening quarter, 11-7 Martinsburg. In the second quarter, 11-6 for the Bulldogs. And that has us at the half with Martinsburg in front, 22-13. First half numbers brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Accountable, ethical, responsible. Find out more at Folk4WV.com. And it wraps up our Smallwood Small Insurance halftime show. Phone them at 304-263-3361 for all of your insurance needs.
And how about Hedgesville drawing 3 charges in that first half? Jameson Matthew with 2 of them.
Yep.
Very good around the basket, getting good defensive positioning and drawing fouls down low.
Well, looking forward to seeing how this second half plays out. Matt, one of the things that makes this such an interesting matchup, this always seems to be the game to battle for bragging rights, if you will, in the Eastern Panhandle, now the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Let's go back to the 2000 season. Are you ready? The turnover of the century there, and you go, since 2000, Hedgesville's got 358 wins and 118 losses in the program. Pretty darn good, right?
Yep.
Martinsburg's gone 400 wins and 117 losses over that same span. These two in this area have been the two, it seems like, that have been battling. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Musselman.
I'm going to say Musselman has been that second representative the last several years.
And they've been right there battling their way to be near the top or at the top with these two teams, but there has been certainly something special when these teams get together, although it's been owned by Martinsburg, as the Dogs have won 42 of the last 49 meetings in this series. Hedgesville basketball, we got our second half underway. Each team's gone back to their starting lineup. It's Fry, Hosby, Wilmer, Everhart, Matthew on the floor for the Eagles. It is Sager, Dorn Smith, Anthony Smith, along with Villa and Marshall for the Bulldogs. Hedgesville now shooting at the hoop to our left. Hosby out top with it, picks up that dribble, giving to Everhart. On that right wing, guarded tightly by Dorn Smith. Nobody in any real foul trouble, although a couple of Bulldogs do have 2 fouls. Feed down low as Everhart finds an open cutter along the baseline. Jameson Matthew lays it up and in. That's a nice pass.
Good backdoor cut, and really the first time we've seen that work to success in this game so far. A lot of passing around the perimeter and finding a backdoor cut in Jameson Matthew.
And Martinsburg goes to the same play they started the game with, the backdoor cut down the right baseline for Telrin Villa. Teddy Marshall from the left side with the lob, and the lay-in's good.
It's the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go. Go back to it again. Everhart out top, spinning his way into the lane. Shot gets blocked by Dorn Smith. Loose ball to Fry. His shot a little strong as he had to shoot it over Telrin Villa. Smith tipped the rebound, and Villa controls Bulldog basketball. Nice defense by Martinsburg. in the front court with a 24-15 lead, and Teddy Marshall floats it up in the lane. Off the rim, no good. Sager had the rebound, but Matthew able to strip it away from him.
And Teddy Marshall just struggling to find the bottom of the basket today. You look at coming off of a 24-point outing and doing some numbers this week, and he is looking like he is on pace for getting to 1,000 points in his career, but right now cannot find the basket.
Nice job, Javen Wilmer again dribbling into the lane, drew the defense to himself. A bounce feed to Jamison Matthew for two. 24-17. Martinsburg by 7. He had Teddy Marshall with 306 points here in his senior season, is up to 915 points in his 4-year career. Marshall saving a pass that was destined for the backcourt as it went right by the intended target. So Anthony Smith, I believe, was looking for Dorn Smith on that one.
Yeah, sharp pass to Dorn Smith. Luckily, Teddy Marshall looking back in the backcourt as well.
Trey Sager tightly guarded by Jamison Matthew, and we get a whistle and a traveling violation on Trey Sager. So the Bulldogs with a couple of early turnovers here in quarter number 3, and Hedgesville down by 7 as the basketball trying to gain a little momentum.
This is a big possession for them. If they can get a 3 here, even a basket, getting them back to within 5 or 4 with a 3, be a nice little run to start this second half.
Everhard working his way towards the right side of the lane, spins and puts it in. Boy, that ball had a lot of spin on it as it sat on the rim momentarily and then fell through.
Yeah, going right after Teller and Villa. Good defense by Villa, kept those hands up. Good defense on the low block. Just a even better shot by Sheldon Everhart.
Everhart's got 8, and it's a 6-2 run to open this second half for the Hedgesville Eagles. Got him back to within 5, and another Bulldog turnover. Diving down to get the loose ball off the floor was Jamison Matthew as the pass went off the hand of Villa.
Yeah, slid about 3 feet in the lane. That could have easily been called a travel.
And now Sheldon Everhart the other way, trying to cross over from right to left. Had a skip off of his left hand and out of bounds on the baseline. And that's 11 turnovers now for Hedgesville.
That play at every level, we've seen less and less called a travel, diving and sliding along the floor. That is a travel. If you take the equivalent of what would have been steps and sliding, that is a traveling violation. But even from the NBA down, just have not seen that called, even at this high school level, a whole lot in recent years.
24-19, Martinsburg out in front. Teddy Marshall, top of the key, controls the dribble. Now pulls up for 3, barely skims the rim, but there's Telrin Villa. The rebound is put back. It bounces off. Tip attempt wouldn't go. Sager tips it in the air. This time Hosby's got it. Back the other way. He comes up this near sideline, works his way into the lane, spins back the other way, and lost it out of bounds. 12 Hedgesville turnovers.
Yeah, and they just can't get into any rhythm offensively to start this second half either. Offensively in that first half, just struggled against that Martinsburg man-to-man, and it was a decent take by Evan Hosey, but I think I would have slowed it down. He's going 1-on-3 right there. Set up in the half court and try to set up your offense. A 5-point game right now. You could have gotten within single digits, or a single possession rather.
Almost halfway through quarter number 3. Telrin Villa at the high post takes the feed, leaning in. Fry falls down, no foul called, and an off shot for Villa, but able to tip the rebound out, and Anthony Smith has it. He'll go to Dorn Smith. Low post right side, try to slam dunk, but hit it on the side of the rim, and Fry grabs this rebound.
Yeah, coming in on defense was Jamison Matthew. Not sure if he got a piece of it or just slowed down the momentum of Dorn Smith. Either way, good job on the help defense by number 22, Jamison Matthew.
And now a double dribble on Javen Wilmer on that right wing. He wanted to pass to Fry on this left side of the floor, clearly put the hand underneath the basketball, and then when he saw a defender coming, tried to put it back down on the floor, and that's why we got the double dribble. So again, the Bulldogs with good defense. Now they got to inbound, and finally coming back towards the midcourt stripe, Teddy Marshall takes that pass that was from three-quarter court out of bounds on the far side. Now Anthony Smith, top of the key between the circles, giving to Teddy Marshall to Telrin Villa, driving down the right baseline. Beautiful bounce speed to the left side of the paint where Trey Sager puts it in. 26-19, Martinsburg by 7. 3:30 to play in quarter number 3. Sheldon Everhart passing intended for Matthew, and Trey Sager late getting there. Banged into the backside of Jamison Matthew, and it is an obvious foul. He doesn't like it, but it's clear that's his 3rd foul. He was just too late in getting there. Garrett Staub's going to check into the Bulldog lineup. Sager's going to have to sit down. You'd like to have him for a little bit of that 4th quarter and don't want to risk the 4th foul now. Inbounds going to Hosby. Along the near side at the midcourt stripe, he's going to hand it off to Javen Wilmer. 3:20 in counting. Quarter number 3, very low scoring. 26-19 is that Martinsburg advantage. Wilmer out top, pulls up off the dribble. Three-pointer off the right side of the rim, no good. Great box out and rebound for Garrett Stobbs, and as he was falling down, he was able to get it off to a teammate. Teddy Marshall up the floor, around the screen, set by Villa at the top of the key. Gets right of the lane, turns, gives it right back to Villa. Villa putting it on the floor, into the lane, short shot, off the rim, no good. A rebound coming down to Hosby. Lob pass down the floor to Everhart, cutting in on the angle right side. He'll get a couple of free throws as we get a blocking foul on Teddy Marshall. Yeah, Marshall definitely late, still had the feet moving, just trying to cut off Sheldon Everhart. And, man, you love his aggression. The 6'3 senior, when he sees a lane and he has an opportunity, he is going at the rack. We had him with a couple of free throws in that opening quarter. His foul shot up, and it is good. He's the only Eagle to take a free throw in the contest, now 3 for 3. Second foul shot coming. That one up, and that one rattles in and out, no good. Rebound gets tipped. It's controlled by Hosby. His shot didn't go. Rebound out of bounds off of Dorn Smith. Smith ended up falling down. He wanted a foul call, but doesn't get it. It'll stay with the Hedgesville Eagles down by 6.
And a big possession here for Hedgesville. They get a second opportunity offensively, trying to get a 2-on or a 2-for-1 situation here. Really a 2-for-none situation right here.
Wilmer with it on that right side of the floor. Moving to his left, down the middle of the lane. Underhand scoop shot. Oh, came off the glass on the side of the rim, and Stobbs there for the rebound. Outlet up the floor. And quickly into the front court, driving in was Anthony Smith. And Smith gets called with another charge as Jamison Matthew held his ground under the basket. Head coach Dave Rogers does not like the call.
Yeah, it's hard for us from this vantage point to see how far underneath the basket the defender was. But a good job for Jamison Matthew holding up position. That's the third charge he has drawn.
Nearing 2 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Sheldon Everhart from the right wing pulls up off the dribble. His 15-footer rims out. Hosby grabs the offensive rebound, circles it back out, and gives to Wilmer here deep on this left wing. Matthew comes out to set the screen. Wilmer lost the basketball. Double team comes to him. He regains control. Gets it to Fry along that left baseline. Back to Wilmer, dribbling to his right. Getting into the lane. May have gotten away with a travel as he floats it up and in. Javen Wilmer has 7. 26-22. Martinsburg with a 4-point lead now. Hedgesville trying to gain a little momentum. Martinsburg could use a bucket this trip down the floor. You hear the student section just below us to our right chanting defense, defense. Anthony Smith out top. Gives a couple of jab steps. Drives down the right side of the lane. Puts it up short off the iron. And the rebound to Wilmer. Outlet to Everhart up that far sideline. Slowing it down now, deep on that right wing, guarded by Dorn Smith. Around the screen, set by Jamison Matthew. Has to give it to Matthew, and now comes and gets it back.
Big offensive set here for Hedgesville. Can get to within one, at least get to within one possession if they can find the bottom of the bucket.
Hosby losing the basketball as it got poked away by Teddy Marshall. Picked up by Anthony Smith. Down the floor, Marshall driving in, and Jamison Matthew committing the personal foul to make sure that he did not get the shot on the rim. Matthew will have his first and the team's first in this second half. Turnover number 14 unofficially on the Hedgesville Eagles. And Teddy Marshall back to the line where he has scored his only points of the night.
And Dave Rogers talking to the official going, hey, that's borderline intentional, isn't it? As Teddy Marshall misses that first free throw. And I think Jameson was going for the ball, just happened to be where he hit. I didn't see any flagrant or intentional in there at all.
Teddy Marshall twice this season has had a low of 7 points in a game. So far has just 2 in this one and make it 3 after missing the first free throw. The second one is good, and the Bulldog lead is at 27-22. Everhart working into the front court on this left side of the floor, giving a bounce feed off to Romans, who's checked into the lineup. Back to Everhart. Controls that dribble on the right wing, hands it off to Fry. Fry moving here to his left. Outside the arc, hands it off to Javen Wilmer. Dogs playing really good man-to-man defense. Wilmer again to his right. Martinsburg really switching on those screens. Wilmer gives a little hesitation, drives to the basket and lays it up and in. Nice drive, Javen Wilmer, 27-24. Martinsburg by 3. 22 seconds to play in our third quarter. Anthony Smith has it poked away but regains control. He's deep in the front court. Feet not too far from that gold H. Now giving to Teddy Marshall. Right corner three, short off the rim. Rebound knocked free. Garrett Stobbs is there to pick it up and put it in. Garrett on the spot. 29-24, that Bulldog advantage, and before the horn can sound, a very deep three from the left side for Sheldon Everhart. Skims the front of the rim, no good, and we have played three. Back with quarter number 4 after this 60-second timeout with Martinsburg leading Hedgesville 29-24.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution, they know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Now the Martinsburg Bulldogs heading into quarter number 4 with a 29-24 advantage. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. John Alderton running our TV10 camera. Back at the studio, Eric Sterick, our producer-engineer. Martinsburg getting it to start this fourth quarter. They shoot at the hoop to our right in the black uniforms, orange lettering, and white trim. Out top with it, Telrin Villa. Starts down the left side of the lane, stops, puts up the shot, comes off the rim, no good. Villa gets in there, battles for the rebound. Ball was loose, but Fry picks it up, gives it to Everhart. Everhart up that far sideline, hesitation move at the midcourt stripe, gives to Wilmer in the corner. 3 ball, off the rim, no good. Garrett stops the rebound. Martinsburg will head the other way. Outlet to Anthony Smith up that far side, guarded tightly by Javen Wilmer. Anthony Smith losing the basketball. Wilmer diving for it, but it's out of bounds on the sideline.
Good defense by Javen Wilmer. Yep. Anthony Smith trying a couple of different moves to get by him, and Wilmer just watching the body, not paying attention to the basketball. Doing a very good job. Or rather, paying attention to the basketball, not the body.
29-24. Martinsburg with that 5-point lead. They led by 4 after 1, led by 9 after 2. Into the lane, Anthony Smith, his floater on the run. Off the right side of the rim, got his own rebound, and the short shot up and good. Way to stay with it, Anthony Smith. I got the Dogs now with 27 rebounds to 25 right now for Hedgesville. 31-24, the Martinsburg advantage. Matthew out top with it, looking, gives on this left wing to Javen Wilmer. Wilmer around a screen set by Matthew, tries to drive it, has the basketball poked away. Anthony Smith with it, and we'll have a held ball in the possession arrow, going to leave it with Hedgesville. Next jump ball will go the way of Martinsburg. So while you don't get it here, you appreciate the great effort, and now you do get the opportunity the next time. Well, the inbound's going to the cutter down the lane, and it's Sheldon Everhart who lays it up and in. Martinsburg fell asleep.
Yeah, starting at the foul line, just went right down the right side of the lane. An easy layup on the right side off the glass.
I've got Everhart at 11. We'll check our scoring as we wrap this one up. 31-26. Martinsburg out in front. Under 6.5 to play in this contest. Marshall deep on the left wing. Guarded there by Hoseby. The Dogs really spreading the floor out to Telrin Villa. Still along that left sideline. Starts to drive down the baseline. Spins back to his right. Short jumper up and good. Just to the left side of the paint.
Beautiful shot by Telrin Villa. Just going straight up.
Everhart the other way, drives in on the angle left side. His layup shot is good. Quick inbounds, and Teddy Marshall into the front court. Now slowing it down for Martinsburg with a 33-28 advantage.
And Everhart's starting to pick it up. The defensive end, Hedgesville just got to get a few more stops. The offense, you can tell for the Eagles, is starting to click in this fourth quarter.
Deep on this near wing. Teddy Marshall controlling that dribble. Hedgesville trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do defensively. And now the pass goes to Anthony Smith on that left sideline. Thought about the three. Now dribbles to his right and just outside the paint floats it up and in. 6 now for Anthony Smith.
Or should I say both offenses starting to click and heat up a little bit.
Well, it's about time. 35-28. It's been a very low-scoring game to this point. Sheldon Everhart sending on that right side to Fry. Looking for the screen set by Matthew. Fry dribbles around that screen to his left. Bounces it back down low to Matthew. Low post right side spins baseline and uses the glass. Jamison Matthew. I've got him at 8 points. And head coach Kelly Church calls a timeout. Exactly 5 minutes left in this one. It is a 5-point Martinsburg lead at 35-30. It's a full timeout, so we'll take the 60-second break as well. And then back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center. It's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
We do have a scoring update from the Musselman Spring Mills game. Spring Mills at the end of 3 has a 37-28 lead over the Musselman Appleman. That is hard to believe the way that one is playing out. Hey, Spring Mills has been playing better basketball down the stretch of this season.
Yeah, that could go a long way in those regional and sectional rankings, as could this game. 5-point game, under 5 to play.
And it's Martinsburg with a 35-30 lead. Teddy Marshall controlling that dribble in the front court, deep in the front court. Hosby popping out to get close to him to start that 5-second count. Marshall starts a drive, now backs it out, sends to Garrett Stobbs on the far side of the floor, dribbles towards that center circle, guarded by Sheldon Everhart, loses control of the dribble, and that one is going to go into the backcourt. It is a backcourt violation.
Yeah, and a good call. Everhart, good defense. Garrett Stobbs trying to go between the legs and just hit it off the inside of his own leg, so a good call, but it was a backcourt violation, not tipped into the backcourt.
Not sure there's a need for as much between the legs dribbling as we see in the game these days. Everybody likes it because it looks fancy, but just a straight dribble there, and I think you can get out of the way.
Another big possession for Hedgesville offensively, can get within a possession. Everhart going to try it.
And he got it. Deep 3 from the left side of the floor. Sheldon Everhart. Matt, I got him at 7 in the quarter and 16 in the ball game. 35-33. That Bulldog lead cut to 2. Under 4 minutes left. Teddy Marshall on the wing left side. Backs it out. He started a drive, got cut off by Hosby. And now around the screen set by Dorn Smith. He goes into the lane, does Teddy Marshall, and was stripped of the ball, but we got a whistle and a foul.
Should be going up, so should see a couple of shots coming up here for Teddy.
Foul is on, let's see, Evan Hosby, his first, team second. Teddy Marshall 3 for 4 from the line for his only points tonight.
That's where he's made his living tonight, is at the charity stripe.
Free throw up, free throw good. Yeah, we've got Sager with 4. He's got 3 fouls, so had been out of the lineup, but now checks back in. Dorn Smith with 6, 9 for Villa, 7 for Stobbs off the bench. And with that free throw up and good, it's 5 for Teddy Marshall and 6 for Anthony Smith. On the other side, 9 for Javen Wilmer, 16 now for Sheldon Everhart, and 8 for Jamison Matthew. Matt's still only 3 Eagles scoring in this game. 37-33. Martinsburg with the advantage. Hedgesville with the ball. Nearing 3.5 left. Everhart, step back 3. Right side, good. Wow, Sheldon Everhart is feeling it, and the student section is loving it. 37-36. That Martinsburg lead has been cut to 1, and head coach Dave Rogers is calling for a timeout. Listen to this place. The Hedgesville faithful are excited. 3:23 to play in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this 60-second break with Martinsburg's lead cut to 1.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Oh boy, this one could be coming down to the wire. When it comes to those tight games, Martinsburg this season, 5 games decided by 8 points or less. They're 3-2 over the last 20-plus years, 93-51. Remember, a couple of Hedgesville's losses by just 2 points each at a tournament down in Charleston, South Carolina. Martinsburg basketball, Teddy Marshall, top of the key, off the dribble, fires the three, wouldn't go. Rebound tipped by Dorn Smith and Telrin Villa. The Dogs control. They'll get it to Anthony Smith on the right side of the floor. His three ball is off the back of the rim, but this time we've got a whistle and a foul in positioning going after that rebound. And that foul is on Ryan Fry. He'll pick up his second and team foul number 3. It's not a shooting foul. Dorn Smith giving the inbounds, knocked right back out at him by Sheldon Everhart.
Everhart doing it all right now.
He's tall, he has those long arms, good reach. He's tough defending that inbounder. That's why he's there. There is a lob pass out deep. Teddy Marshall able to go up high and grab it over Evan Hosby. There's the wide receiver.
I was going to say his receiving days.
Teddy Marshall penetrating into the lane. His floater off the mark, no good. Battle for the rebound as Dorn Smith kept it alive, but Sheldon Everhart's got it. And look out, Hedgesville could take the lead on this possession. You think this place will go crazy? Oh, pocket picked. It's Teddy Marshall who gets the steal, drives it in. He goes for the slam. It slipped out of his hand, but the layup is good.
And Teddy Marshall, we never see him dunk the ball, and he was trying right there.
Fry the other way, driving down the left baseline. He puts it up and in. Ryan Fry has his first bucket of the ball game, and Hedgesville again back within 1 at 39-38. And Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church is going to burn a timeout. Looks like this may be a 30. Oh, let's keep it here. We don't want to miss any of the action. This has been fun, the way it is playing out.
We were wondering when that fourth score is going to come for Hedgesville and who it was going to be. Ryan Fry is only the 4th player to score for Hedgesville. Fry on the season coming in averaging just 3.4 a game, and that a good way to get your first bucket in a very key juncture of this game.
We're getting just what we expected, a very electric atmosphere here at the Gilbert B. Miller Center. 2 of the top teams in Class AAA, and it's 39-38 Martinsburg. They've got the lead and the ball, length of the floor to go. 2:30 and counting as Teddy Marshall takes the inbounds. Marshall across midcourt on that dribble. Hosby going to pick him up as the pass goes to Dorn Smith on the left wing. To Trey Sager in that left corner. He drives the baseline to the rim, puts it up and in. Trey Sager with the basket, the hoop and the harm as the foul, I believe, going on Jamison Matthew. And it'll be a 3-point opportunity. It is the second foul on Matthew and the 4th Hedgesville team foul in this second half.
Sager, a 60% free throw shooter, 9 of 15 on the season, rattles that one home.
There you go. Big 3-point play from Trey Sager to make it 41-38. Back into the front court. Wilmer on the dribble for Hedgesville as we near 2 minutes left in this one. Around the screen set by Matthew. Wilmer to this left wing. Pulls up off the dribble. His 3-ball off the rim in the backboard. Rebound, Dorn Smith. He went high in the air and just took it away from Teddy Marshall. Excuse me, that's my ball. Teddy Marshall has it. working into the front court, and head coach Dave Rogers now going to call for a timeout. Let's see what it will be. I think it may just be a 30. Have we got each team now with what would be 2 timeouts left? Nope, it's a full timeout. Let's do it anyway. 30 seconds, and then we'll return to the Gilbert B. Miller Center with Martinsburg in front, 42-38.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
Matt, as we say a special thank you to each of our sponsors for supporting our coverage of high school boys basketball. We want to also remind everyone we've got some college basketball on our airwaves as well. And coming up tomorrow, it's a doubleheader beginning with number 17 West Virginia on the road at TCU. Tip time is at 2. The IMG pregame begins at 1. And as that one wraps up from Westwood One Radio Sports, it's an SEC battle. Kentucky hosts Florida. That pregame at 5:45 tomorrow right here. All right, 42-38, Martinsburg basketball coming out of the timeout. They've got the lead. A minute 40 and counting. Pass far side. Anthony Smith left open. Left wing 3. He drains it. His 10th of the season, and how about Smith? He's got 7 in this fourth quarter.
And we talk about it. We've talked about it a lot more the last couple of games. Smith does not shoot often from beyond the arc, but when he does, he's pretty darn good.
A whistle and a foul on the Bulldogs. It looks like Trey Sager. Sager going to pick up his 4th personal. No need to take him out. Let's see how long he lasts with 1:27 left. Fry checks back in for Romans. Neither of these teams has gone very deep in this one. Starters will be exhausted tomorrow. Wilmer giving the inbounds to Fry and then gets it right back. Fry with an out top guarded by Anthony Smith. Moving to his left around a screen set by Jamison Matthew. Matthew comes to set a screen again. Wilmer goes the other way, drives it in and lays it off the glass. Javen Wilmer, I've got him at 11. 45-40, the Bulldog lead again, cut down to 5, and head coach Kelly Church again burning a timeout. So I've got 2 left for Martinsburg, 1 left for Hedgesville. Let's see how this one goes. Another 30-second break, and then we will come back to the Gilbert B. Miller Center with Martinsburg up by 5. What do we want to talk about?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, look out. Please stop at midcourt. Hate to see these girls flip into one another.
Be the center court catastrophe we saw from Millersville the other night.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom made dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller that had spread into his spine. Green, his favorite color, which is why you see the student section and some of these spectators in green. If you would like to donate to help offset some of those medical costs, checks make them payable to Gretchen Staley and deliver them to the front office here at Hedgesville.
Well, the Bulldogs on the inbounds pass coming out of the Hedgesville timeout, run a backdoor pick, and Trey Sager goes length of the floor and somewhat slams it down. Wasn't a huge flush, but he puts it through and back the other way. Everhart with a very deep 3. It's off the mark, and the rebound to Villa. Quick outlet up the floor to Teddy Marshall. Taken away from him by Wilmer, Javen Wilmer, who hustled back. Took me a minute to find my spot. 47-40, the Martinsburg advantage. Wilmer spinning into the lane, right hands it up, missed it wide to the right, battle for the rebound far side. Everhart tried to bounce it out of bounds off of Teddy Marshall, but it never touched him. It'll be Bulldog basketball.
I don't know how that never touched him. That ball was coming back towards the Hedgesville bench and took a mean right-hand turn. Must have had some wicked spin on it.
47-40. Martinsburg with a 7-point lead, and now head coach Dave Rogers wants a timeout. Matt, you look at these two teams this season. We mentioned those losses earlier for Hedgesville against Burke High School down in South Carolina, 57-55 the loss, and then against Summersville, South Carolina, a 42-40 loss. I didn't mark it on my sheet, but I could swear one of those was an overtime game. And then, of course, that 10-point loss against Martinsburg for the Bulldogs. They lost their opener this season by just 1 point on the road at Stafford, and then later just got smacked by Freedom 72-49. Reeled off 10 straight wins before a 75-70 loss against St. Maria Goretti. A game that, frankly, they played well in. They just got outplayed by Goretti in that matchup, and especially the early stretch that Martinsburg never quite recovered from.
Yeah, and I think one thing you look at with both schedules is for Hedgesville, they really don't have a bad loss. I think you look at that Freedom game for Martinsburg, that was a bad loss. They really just got beat up and down the floor. So you want to look at 3 losses for both teams. Martinsburg really the only team with that bad loss.
Martinsburg, length of the floor to go with the inbounds to Teddy Marshall, giving it off to Anthony Smith. Smith in the back court, splitting through a would-be double team as Javen Wilmer was coming over to help. And I believe it's going to be on 1-3. Naheem Romans, and the 6'1 senior forward, has his first. That is just the 5th team foul. So still another one to give before they would send the Dogs to the line. 34 seconds left. That's it.
Yeah, man, unfortunately, I think Hedgesville not being able to score on their last couple of possessions. They are just running out of time here. 7 points, 32.6 seconds, and getting ready to send Martinsburg to the charity stripe with one more team foul after this inbounds. Unless they can get a steal, they need a steal right here if they want a shot here late in the game.
47-40, Martinsburg by 7. Inbounds, length of the floor to go after that last foul. And the inbounds on that far side grab by Anthony Smith. He's going to race up that far sideline, able to get by a defender of the midcourt stripe, giving ahead to Trey Sager. Sager, though, missed the shot. He had a layup attempt, but left it short, and in the battle for the rebound, we're going to have a foul on Anthony Smith of Martinsburg. Oh, boy, Sager had a layup that he just didn't put enough on.
Yeah, wedged it between the rim and the backboard. And Hedgesville needs a basket, and they need one quick. 24.2 left in the ballgame. They're down by 7. Obviously, you don't need a 3, but I think that should be play number 1. If you can get a high ball screen and able to get an open 3, I think that should be your number 1 play.
Adam Walsh checking into the lineup for the first time tonight for Hedgesville. Wilmer looking to get the inbounds in, still looking, lobs it, and it's to Everhart. Everhart going to race into the front court, down the side of the lane. He feeds it off, and Walsh gets the lay in. Adam Walsh comes right in off the bench, takes a nice bounce pass, lays it off the glass. 47-42, the Martinsburg lead cut to 5, and I would have Coach Kelly Church burning his final timeout. There you go. He made the substitution. Got just what he wanted.
And Coach Church has got to be careful. He got a technical early in this ball game. He's been standing the last probably 2 minutes of game time, and that is not what you're supposed to be doing when you have a technical on the bench.
He had been sitting since that technical foul that occurred all the way back in the second quarter as Martinsburg took a 17-11 lead. So he is right now coaching his team through these 19.3 seconds in this one, down by 5. And you know what they're doing. If you can't get a steal on the immediate inbounds, you got to very quickly commit the foul, as the next one will put Martinsburg into the bonus.
And if you're Hedgesville, who do you want to foul? I mean, nobody on the Martinsburg team is really struggling from the line, other than you look at Garrett Stobbs, who's really had a rough year from the line, but he's not in the ball game. So I don't think there's anybody in particular that you're aiming to foul here.
You got Teddy Marshall that you're trying to get it to, but the lob feed goes out front, taken away by Javen Wilmer. Wilmer working to his right, lost the basketball out of bounds on that far sideline. Nice defense by Martinsburg after the inbounds turnover.
That was what they wanted. They got the turnover in the backcourt, a good opportunity. And for Wilmer, just could not get the man open he wanted. Ended up just throwing that basketball away, and that's a tough one to swallow if you're Hedgesville.
Garrett Stobbs checking into the lineup for Dorn Smith. Inbounds going to Anthony Smith on that far side. Quickly triple teamed, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Anthony Smith going to go to the line where he's a 68% free throw shooter, 40 out of 59 on the season. Foul goes on Javen Wilmer, and that's going to be his first, team number 7.
And with 13.5 left, I think 2 free throws here probably ices the game for Martinsburg. It makes it a 3-possession game at 7 points if Anthony Smith is able to knock down a pair.
Could he be our player of the game? He had that dagger 3 a little bit earlier in this fourth quarter, and now going to the line here with a chance to really help ice it away. He has not taken a free throw in this game, and this one is good. I got the Dogs at 4 for 4 from the line in this fourth quarter, which would make them 8 for 9 in the ball game. Last time they got together, the Dogs made 15 of 17 from the charity stripe. Smith, though, misses this one. Rebound to Everhart, still in the backcourt, trying to avoid a double team. Anthony Smith able to poke the ball away, but it's out of bounds on the sideline.
And good trap defense by Martinsburg, not letting Hedgesville get up the floor quickly. That took about 5 seconds off of the clock, and Hedgesville didn't even get it into the front court. I like the aggressive defense put on by Coach Rogers.
Wilmer going to trigger the inbound, still in the backcourt. Works it into Sheldon Everhart, down to 7, down to 6, down to 5. Everhart back to Wilmer, deep 3, left side on the way, rolls around the rim and out. Battle for the rebound. Hosby's got it, and the horn sounds as Hosby eventually was able to get it away from Garrett Stobbs, and this one is in the books, going to the Martinsburg Bulldogs, who with this victory up the number 1 seed and home court advantage in the upcoming sectional tournament. Your final, Martinsburg 48 and Hedgesville 42. We'll come back and tell you all about it as we get into the postgame show, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial. A 2-minute timeout, and then we return to the Gilbert B. Miller Center, where Martinsburg gets the victory by 6.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
We welcome you back into the Gilbert B. Miller Center along with Matt Crawford. I'm Matt Miller. Running our TV10 camera is John Alderton. Our engineer at the studio is Eric Sterick. Well, we recap this one in our post-game show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Give them a call at 304-263-4343 or stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Matt, we had a tight game early. 2-0 Martinsburg, tied at 2 by Hedgesville. Dogs take a 4-2 lead. That started a 7-0 run. They stretch it out to a 9-2 lead, and Martinsburg would lead by 4 after one, 11-7. Kept pushing that lead out to, 8 points, 7 points, 8.7 points throughout that second quarter. Ultimately, they outscored Hedgesville 11-6 over the second 8 minutes, and Martinsburg had a 9-point lead at the intermission. 22-13 in quarter number 3. Hedgesville came out, scored 6 of the first 8 points of that second half, and ultimately outscored the Bulldogs 11-7 in that third period. Martinsburg's lead was down to 5 going into the final 8 minutes. It was 29-24, and over that final stanza, well, Martinsburg made enough shots, made enough free throws, and hold off the Hedgesville Eagles for the 6-point victory, 48-42.
Yeah, it really took 3 full quarters for both offenses to figure out what they wanted to do. 19-18 was the scoring in the fourth quarter, Martinsburg having that 1-point scoring advantage, and it took that long, and that was the highest scoring quarter we had, and it really came down to both teams just getting shots, getting a little bit more up pace for Martinsburg, and Sheldon Everhart really coming alive from beyond the arc in that fourth quarter was the big reason Hedgesville was in the game late and made that late comeback, and that you got the feeling they got to within a single possession, got to within one a couple of different times, and they just couldn't get that big stop. And I think that steal by Teddy Marshall, one of the biggest plays of this game. We give a player of the game, not a play of the game, but that steal by Marshall easily could have been the play of the game that really was the dagger in slowing down that Hedgesville run.
Yeah, because that was an opportunity where Hedgesville down by a point could have been able to take a lead when Teddy Marshall is able to get the strip at midcourt, take it in for the bucket, and then Anthony Smith drained a big three-pointer as well as the Bulldogs hold off the Eagles to win it 48-42. We'll send it back to the studio, take a 60-second break, come back and run some of the numbers from this one as we continue on the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial post-game show. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNRN TV 10.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Hedgesville High School, time to take a look at the numbers in this one. Our post-game stats, just like our halftime stats, are brought to you by the former Eagle himself. Yeah, we are talking about Mike Folk for Governor, accountable, ethical, responsible. Learn more at folk4wv.com. With individual totals, here's Matt.
6 players in the scoring column for Martinsburg leading the way. The only player in double figures for the Dogs was Anthony Smith, 10 points in this one. Teddy Marshall, 7, all but a bucket coming from the charity stripe. He went 5 for 6 from that foul line. 7 for Garrett Stobbs, 9 for Telrin Villa, 6 for Doran Smith, and 9 as well for Trey Sager for Hedgesville. Leading the way with 19 points, leading all scorers, was Sheldon Everhart. 11 for Javen Wilmer, 8 for Jameson Matthew, a bucket for Adam Walls, also a bucket for Ryan Fry.
Yeah, what a game Sheldon Everhart had for the Hedgesville Eagles, but just could not get them over the top. Team totals look like this. Martinsburg hit just 2 threes. Hedgesville hit just 3 threes. The last time these teams got together, how many three-pointers did they hit combined? How about 10? They didn't get there today in this one. Both very good free throw shooting. Problem for Hedgesville, couldn't get to the line enough. Sheldon Everhart, the only player to shoot free throws. He made 3 out of 4. That's 75%. For Martinsburg, they had 1, 2, 3, 4 different players go to the line, and they went 8 of 10. That is 80%. Had the Dogs committing 11 fouls, 9 fouls for Hedgesville. Martinsburg unofficially +5 in rebounding, 33-28, and +4 in turnovers, forcing 16 while committing 12. Martinsburg outscored Hedgesville 11-7 in the first, 11-6 in the second. Hedgesville got the better of the Dogs 11-7 in the third, but Martinsburg outscores Hedgesville 19-18 in the fourth, and the Dogs go on for the 48-42 win and Martinsburg's now won 3 in a row. 13 of their last 14. They are 16-3 on the season. Hedgesville, for a second time this season, has a 5-game winning streak snapped at the hands of the Martinsburg Bulldogs as they fall to 16-4. Numbers brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more online at folk4wv.com. Final 1-minute timeout. We come back and wrap up our post-game show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. We'll name our player of the game. We'll look ahead to our next broadcast, what's next for both of these teams. On the other side of this 60-second break, reminding you again, your final score, Martinsburg 48, Hedgesville 42.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
We welcome you back one final time tonight to the Gilbert B. Miller Center at Hedgesville High School, where Martinsburg gets the win over Hedgesville by the final of 48-42. Time for us to name our player of the game. And how often do you see a player of the game that's not for the team that wins?
That's exactly. We did not talk about this at all, but my player of the game is going to be Sheldon Everhart.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, he had a dominating type of performance, even though it wasn't quite enough to push his team over the top to the victory. Without him on the floor,
performance, they're not even close.
No.
Especially in that second half.
Oh, yeah, he was outstanding, knocking down big three-pointers, driving to the rim, and making shots. Good job from the charity stripe as well at 3 for 4. 19 points for Sheldon Everhart, our player of the game. Honorable mention to Anthony Smith of the Martinsburg Bulldogs with his 10-point effort and a huge three-pointer as well, as hitting 1 of 2 free throws down the stretch. The third honorable mention, we might say, goes to Teddy Marshall. As you said, that steal near midcourt and the subsequent bucket at a crucial point in the game helped Martinsburg to hang on for the win. All right, what is next for these two teams? Well, for the Eagles of Hedgesville, let's take a look. I accidentally, but maliciously, put this sheet away that has their schedule on it, and so let me pull that
Spring
back
Mills
out.
is on Tuesday.
Spring Mills is coming up. Is it Tuesday? Or is it later in the week after the Broadwell? It's Broadfording Christian on Monday, which is the 24th. That game is up at Broadfording Christian. We saw that team. That will not be an easy test. They saw Broadfording way back at the beginning of the season. Hedgesville won 64-36 in that one. And then later in the week is when they will take on Spring Mills. I don't have it written on that schedule. Let's see if I jotted it down on that Spring Mills schedule as to when the two teams will meet up at Spring Mills. It'll be 2/26, so it'll be Wednesday night of next week that the two teams meet. So Hedgesville with a game on Monday and a game on Wednesday. Then they wrap up the regular season, and they wait to see who their opponent will be come sectional tournament time. Those pairings should come out on Tuesday. Meanwhile, for Martinsburg, 2 games next week as well. Makeup of a game that got snowed out earlier in the year. It's Tuesday night when the Bulldogs go to play the Jefferson Cougars, and then next Friday night they'll close it out at home against Broadfording Christian Academy. We'll see how those go for the Martinsburg Bulldogs, as we will be down at Shenandoah Junction on Tuesday with Miller time at 5 and our pregame right around 7:10 for that 7:30 tip. We got what we expected. Good one here tonight. Electric type of atmosphere, low-scoring game. 2 very good teams going hard at it, and Martinsburg comes out on top for a second time this year.
Apparently wasn't nearly as exciting as the game between Musselman and Spring Mills, however.
We do have a final.
Gets the win on a buzzer beater from welcome back Blake Hartman. Gets I believe this is his second game back, maybe third.
Yes.
gets the buzzer beater for Musselman to come back and get the win, 45-43. Is he amazing?
Hey, he is a great athlete. And a very smart young man as well. I saw it in the paper the other day, and I can't even remember who it was that had an interest in him, but it was one of those brainiac schools as well as a good athletic school. So, wow, welcome back, as you said, Blake Hartman leading Musselman to the win over Spring Mills. We did not get a scoring update throughout the course of the evening as the Jefferson Cougars were taking on the Washington Patriots. Well, it's going to wrap it up for us here. We say a special thanks to each of our sponsors for supporting our coverage of high school basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs and tonight the Hedgesville Eagles. We say thanks to you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10. Thanks to Athletic Director Aaron Whitford, all the staff, all the folks here at Hedgesville High School for their help and hospitality with our broadcast coverage. Eric Sterick is our studio engineer. John Alderton running our TV 10 camera. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller reminding you tonight's final score. It is Martinsburg 48, Hedgesville 42. Until next Tuesday, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.